So the first question is being a part of the NFL culture. How did you feel being a part of it, and how do you feel it has changed now, like evolution-wise?
Okay. Well, the main thing that's changed is the amount of money they make now. They get paid quite a bit more than when I played. But the culture, it was more disciplined at that time. Now, I don't know if you can blame that on money or just maybe our societal changes. Social media definitely plays a bigger role in the NFL now. Everything's more open, everything's more transparent than it was then. But there was a lot of discipline as well then that they don't seem to have now. And maybe it's the freedom they get through the increased revenue, or through social media, or maybe it's just not as important as it was maybe when I played. The coach had the final say in everything. You adhered to what the coach had to say. There were rules set, and if you violated team policy, you were let go. You didn't get a whole lot of chances. The jobs were coveted, as they are now, and there are very few of them. I think there's only 1,800 jobs for players in the NFL, and there's over 6,000 young men coming out of college every year vying for those jobs. So you really took care of once you got one. Representing the city you played for was very important. Your public persona was very important. So you took care of it. You took care of it the best you could. It has changed now, I guess, with the money and the freedom that brings. I hate to say the moral values have changed. They seem to be somewhat different now than they were then. At least they're more public, than they were then. We had our problems, no doubt, but nothing to the extent that they're having now. There weren't a great deal of problems with drugs, or performance-enhancing drugs, or the like. Alcohol abuse was a problem, and it was addressed. Of course, without standing as judge and jury, I guess I should say, it seems like the young men that are in the game today are really stepping outside the box when it comes to breaking the law, and they're paying the price. Not only are they paying the price, their families are paying the price, and the public's paying the price. They need to get a handle on it, and they seem to be working in that direction.
So, why do you see that this is occurring? More violence, like both domestically and like on the field?
That's a tough one. There had to be domestic violence when I was playing, but it's a tough call right now. I don't know if it's it's a tough call. I really don't know why it has escalated. Some say that it was happening, then it was kept behind closed doors. There was some domestic violence there, but it just seems to start earlier in the culture of sports, and then really manifests itself when it gets to professional sports. Colleges are just rampant with sexual violence and sexual abuse. The armed forces are rampant with it. And this has been manifesting itself over a long period of time. The statistics are staggering in college. 1 in 5 college-age women are either going to be sexually abused verbally or physically, during their time in school. Those numbers are staggering. You know, it's abhorrent. And it's, I guess society is to blame for turning a deaf ear to it for so long, you know, and looking the other way. And it's reached epidemic proportions. You see it more in professional sports, or you hear about it more because of the high visibility of the people that are involved. But I think it goes on. I think it's a societal problem that certainly deserves very close scrutiny, and we have to come up with remedies to this problem.
Mm-hmm. So at NDNU, I know we don't have a football team, but we do have like men's lacrosse, basketball, soccer. What do you think that the NDNU community can do on our part to maybe not contribute to such violence?
Well, education is a big part of it. Understanding what brings it about and what manifests it. Understanding what the cycle of violence is and how to break it. I know we do training here on the NDNU campus, violence prevention training, just for this. And I think the more people become aware of it, the more they find that there are solutions to these problems, the more they understand that these are learned behaviors. And since they're learned, they can be unlearned. And we can start moving in the right direction. I think it has to be a strong lines of communication between men and women. Feelings need to be heard and recognized. And we as a society need to stand up and say, we're not going to tolerate this anymore and make it stop. We have to, I do a lot of violence prevention training through the Mentors in Violence Prevention program, and we teach a bystander approach. And what a bystander approach is people that are near an incident getting involved and helping to resolve a potentially volatile situation, and both men and women. And understanding that it could be a loved one that's in that situation, and not just a stranger. And once you start thinking of it in those terms, you're more willing to get involved. And there are ways to get involved. We don't condone a roundhouse approach where you run in swinging and fighting and trying to stop it that way. But there are ways to diffuse a situation verbally and non-violently, so that everybody comes out a winner. And through that type of behavior, the more it's practiced, the more we'll be able to resolve this problem. Education is most important in this area.
Well, thank you for your time.
You're welcome.